Hello again, take two. I know that last video ended kind of abruptly that I'm going to upload. If you'll remember, I started coming down the creek and took a picture or a video of that hole through the rock. I'm doing this short video here for information purposes. If you look around, if you zoom up, you might see it, but at a glance, obviously, you should be able to see the piece on the branch down there, but I just put that there. I didn't do that when I left, which was a mistake on my part. And I went down the creek. It took my time. I guess it took me about 14 minutes, something like that, to walk all the way down where I did. Something told me to turn around and come back, so I did. And I got back up, and I was in such a hurry. And you could see there's nothing but ridges, and it just runs through here. Everything kind of looks the same after a little while. You pick out landmarks. Like I remembered that hole through the rock, and on the wall over there, on the other side over there, was a dripping where I took a picture of the water. But you should always mark your trail somehow. Orange paracord, carry with you, tie one little thing around it, take it back with you when you leave. Flagging tape that's biodegradable, something like that. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I want to be completely honest. I started turning back and I was like, man, I did not mark my trail to get back up the hill. And I've only been out here one other time before this, which was complete ignorance on my part. And when I come back up, these start looking the same. And you start getting kind of frantic, your heart. It's been important to stay. I'm doing this for your video. You're out here with nobody. I mean, I could scream and ain't nobody going to hear me. There ain't no houses anywhere close to here. But anyways, panic starts to set in, so you got to stop and think and just relax. And it's always important. I mean, there ain't no way, unless you zoomed up with the video, you didn't see my pack and my jacket. It's going to be down to 38 degrees tonight. Of course, I'm going to help you out here again another minute, something that I always carry. I set my pack down and my jacket because I started overheating. I have on a sweatshirt, a long john shirt, moisture wicking, a other long john shirt over the top of it, just a regular long, and then I'll show you, other long one on top of that. I've had them for a long time. I like to dress in layers. Got my boots on. I got long johns on under my pants. But I set my pack down. It's got my gear in it. I always keep a saw. And of course my jacket, I got frantic and just went off like a silly person. Instead of knowing I need to go straight back up there, first thing I did, I marked that spot and tied it in two places on there. And that'll last for quite a while. And of course I'll remember this spot. I'm going to put that in my mind when I come down through here. That's me. But anyway, survival. So what do I have on me? I like to do little stuff like that. I got the pocket knife. My brother got me that. It's a Cabela's. Pretty good, decent, sturdy knife. I always carry that in my pocket. And like I was saying, because of my bag, I'm going to spin that back. I always carry in my pocket, in my side pocket, a lighter with duct tape wrapped around it, a nice big chunk of duct tape. I always carry, that's my, what they call is, I never tell which one of these to look into the camera, but the EDC, everyday carry. And so I carry that and that knife and have that. And you lose a lot of heat out of your head, so it's good to have the heat, the piece there on your head. But anyway, I'm going to show you, turn around and show you back. Important. I carry some hankies. I got a light, two lights actually. That's the hybrid. And I do this little trick. I'm gonna open it up. Just give me a minute. You'll have to bear with me. I don't want the video to turn or it'll kick my video off. If I can get that out, you'll thank me here in a second. I always do that. I carry two lights. This one has I have an extra battery in the bag. It holds a recharge battery. I love this light. And then it runs off of 3, but I always keep duct tape over the electrodes on the top when I stick it inside the bag. I'll show you. I put it in there and then I screw the top back on. And then when it's in my bag, It's my emergency light. I don't pull it out or take that off unless I need to. Then when it's in the bag that don't get touched to turn it on or run your batteries out, I always carry a bottle of water in there. I recently started carrying this, and I really like it. It's a Fisker's. It's a pretty nice saw. I think it's like a, I don't know what they call that, what the length is actually. I'm going to say it's a good 13, 14 inches anyway. It's a pretty nice, I got big hands. It's a pretty nice size saw that folds out and then it folds back if you're doing an undercut. I really like that saw. It's got a lifetime warranty on it. Just something simple to stick in the bag. And I carry that. A little hank of paracord wrapped around that. That's a Glock field knife. And if you give me a minute, I shall pop that out. I don't have no tripod. This is in the woods video. Just a decent little blade there. It's called a Glock field knife. I've dug in the ground with it. Looks like it might need to be sharpened again. But I'm going to set that down for 1 second. I've had it for several years. I got a rain suit in here. If I can turn that around, I'm sorry, I have my finger over the camera. I'll pull it out so you can see it. We only live once, right? I got my gloves, an extra hat, 2 extra hats there. My thicker gloves. I just put new Velcro on that because I've had them forever. And I bought some extra Velcro and Gorilla glued it on there, both sides, so it really stays if you need extra gloves. And then I got my rain suit, Frog Tug Tuck, and military Gore-Tex bottoms. And some paracord. And let's see, extra bandanas. Let me get that. Of course, you gotta have some toilet paper wrapped up, right? Oh, there's an other extra knife. You can't ever have enough knives. A bag of David sunflower seeds. Several hankies wrapped up. Orange if I need them for whatever. Let's see what else I got here. Some more paracord, reflective paracord. Another face mask. Maybe one day I'll do a whole bag dump. But it's about I still got a little bit of time before light, but or dark rather. But see, in the back, I'm going to show you too. I got this little Nebo flashlight. It's a rechargeable, and I always make sure it's charged up before I bring it with me. I actually had it on an adventure when we went on a deer. Looking at the right one, if I look over here, you'll have to forgive me if I'm not. But I went on the last adventure, and it was 5 hours from the time I went to tracking the deer. I used that light and my big light that I had in the bag, and took off through the woods kind of unpreparedly, but with the lights. And the gentleman I was with knew the woods better than me, but we walked and went down 5 hours. By the time we went down, it was a long time. I couldn't believe it, and it lasted. We'll cut it off a little bit. I'll even say 4.5. It was a long time that light lasted while we was out there. So I was really impressed with that little Nebo light. I'm thinking it was less than $30 for 2 of them. So anyway, I'm going to pause that a minute while I look in there. All right, I figured I'd dig it out. I got a little glasses case. It's got 2 types of nail clippers, some chapstick that can be used as a fire starter, ear protection for hunting season, but those can also be used as a fire starter if you have to. And of course, a diamond knife sharpener's carbide and ceramic blade in it. And of course, this thing here, I want to show that. It's a SOG multi-tool. I carry that in the bag. It's got the wire cutter on it, a really good blade on it. Yeah. Let's see, so I have a backup saw. There's another saw that's on there. And a can opener, screwdriver. And that thing is sharp too. I don't even think I've ever even cut anything with that. It's got a gut hook in here, believe it or not. Or what I guess you'd call it for proper, a skinning blade hook on there. It's made in. Actually has a screwdriver, or a piece right there that's like a 10mm socket or quarter sockets can fit on if you are of a mind to, and another can opener, screwdriver, straight screwdriver, and a really good blade. Those are just some of the things I carry in my bag. Pretty much, I keep, oh crud, I'll have to pick that up, but anyway, I like to keep it organized like that. I keep everything in the same spot. And I'm going to pause it one more time if you'll give me a minute. And I'm going to pull the back. I need to pick that stuff up so I don't forget it and lose it. And in the back, I got one more thing I'm going to show you in the back there. Okay, I had a few more things here. I always carry the Gorilla Glue in my bag. You can, in a pinch, you can pinch a wound too and cover it. I've done it personally. That's why I know it. I also have this bag you can use as a water container if you have to, plus the water bottle I have in my bag. Paper towels extra, and in my other bag it's in my truck, I have more than that, but, and of course a note from my wife that I had saved in there. Grateful for you, love you. And I saved that and put that in there. She sticks little notes in my bag sometimes. And that's it. I'm gonna climb back up that hill, and those pine trees at the top, I didn't mark it at the top, but it's straight up in the hill. You can't miss it up there. There's several pine trees. A buck has made that, and believe it or not, it's right on the trail. There's probably 10 or 15 trees right there. The buck has had that buck rub right there. And I hope you enjoyed it here in the Ozark Mountains, down the trails here. And I just love this place out here. I love the outdoors and getting out in the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ. And just all of these things, and it was a perfect opportunity. I wasn't planning on it, but I got to give you a few tips about always mark your trail, because man, you don't think that you need it. And I want to turn this camera around so you can see how serious my face is. You know, I ain't playing around, but I don't even know which camera to stare into half the time. Anyway, you don't know how important that is to mark your trail and keep your eyes or have a way out of there, because you get to having fun, exert all your energy out and come back, get winded, and you get panicked thinking you're lost, and before you know it, yes, you are lost. And that's kind of dangerous, especially when you're out in the middle of this place and the temperatures drop and you don't have shelter, and then you get frantic and keep walking. I want to say one more thing about that, and then I'm going to get off of here. If you do get lost, you need to stop and sit down where you're at. If you got a way to build a fire, get a fire built. That gives you a little bit of comfort and gets you to start thinking a little. Make sure you do it in a safe manner, obviously. Disclaimer, you don't want to start it in a dry season if there's watches out and stuff like that, and clear the debris or around from it. Make you a little rock thing around it or possible, or do it away or close to water. Obviously, you know, common sense tells us that we need to be careful with those types of things. And then stop is my whole point to that, and get your mind right. And then think, and you can make a fire and see from there. Don't leave it, and then just how I do it. I've always done it that way. I'm going to try to turn this around. I think it's that one. And go out just a little bit at a time, marking your trail somehow. Tie your shirt around it or whatever you got to do a little bit at a time until you get your bearings, and you can find your way back that way. I mark if I've been out myself, and especially if it's a life or death situation. I take my knife and I make 3 marks, yay wide, on a tree, to where I can see it, and the direction that I'm going, I make it on the side that I'm walking away from, so I can look back and see the marks, and I'll do that on down through so I can kind of mark my direction. But I hope that helps, and turn that around, get off of here, and I'm getting out of here and getting back to the house. God bless you all, and stay safe. Happy trails.